Imagine walking through the gates of a $50 million Bel Air mega mansion. We're talking about those sleek, glass-walled fortresses with infinity pools that seem to touch the golden California sky, marble floors imported from remote Italian quarries, and enough garage space for a fleet of supercars you've only seen on movie posters. Now, take a deep breath and blink. Suddenly, you're standing in a cramped, windowless basement studio in a suburb that costs $2,500 a month. Just let that sink in for a second. How is this even the same planet, let alone the same country? It feels like we're living in two completely different dimensions that just happen to share the same zip codes. While most of us are sweating over the price of a dozen eggs or nervously checking our bank accounts before tapping for a morning latte, there is a literal mansion buying spree happening right under our noses. It's almost like the laws of economic gravity don't apply to everyone equally. You'd think with interest rates climbing higher than a mountain climber, people would be slowing down, right? Wrong. In the world of the top 1%, the luxury real estate market isn't just surviving, it's absolutely booming. It's like the normal housing market has been tossed into a deep freezer, stuck in a state of suspended animation, while the ultra wealthy are playing a high-stakes, real-life game of Monopoly with actual billions. We are seeing a widening chasm, a massive split between the lifestyle flexers, who buy sprawling estates like they're picking up a new pair of sneakers, and the average person who's just trying to keep the lights on without having a heart attack when the utility bill arrives. It's the tale of two Americas, and honestly, the gap between them is starting to look more like a bottomless canyon than a simple economic divide. But here's the million-dollar question: why now? Is it just pure, unadulterated greed on display, or is there something deeper, something much more strategic going on behind the scenes? Rumors are swirling that there's a secret financial play the rich are using, some kind of hidden playbook that allows them to thrive while the rest of the economy feels like it's walking through waist-deep mud. Are they seeing a total collapse coming and trying to park their wealth in hard assets? Or are they just so disconnected from reality that the price of a home doesn't even register as a real number anymore? Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. To make matters even weirder, our social media feeds are constantly flooded with this stuff. You've seen the videos. Some 22-year-old TikTok influencer is doing a high-energy house hunting tour of a massive gated compound in Las Vegas or a sprawling ranch in Texas. They're laughing and talking about the vibe and the natural light in the fifth guest bedroom, while their followers are in the comments section posting about being priced out of the very hometowns they grew up in. It's a strange experience to watch someone flex a 10-car garage while you're wondering if you can afford to move out of your parents' place before you turn 40. This aspirational content is starting to feel less like a dream and more like a direct insult to millions of hardworking people. And let's talk about that rent trap reality. It's not just happening in the big coastal cities anymore. Places like Austin, Miami, and Phoenix, cities where regular people like teachers and nurses used to be able to afford a decent, comfortable life, have become virtual battlegrounds for housing. Rents have skyrocketed so fast it'll make your head spin. We're talking about neighborhoods where you used to see families hosting barbecues, now being filled with generic luxury apartments that no one from the actual area can afford. It's a massive squeeze that's hitting the middle class, leaving a lot of us asking, where is all this money coming from? But who are these people dropping $100 million in cash while the rest of us are counting pennies for a security deposit? You won't believe the names on these deeds. Now, if you're wondering who's fueling this madness, you've got to look at the heavy hitters, the people whose net worth has more commas than a grammar textbook. We're talking about celebrity real estate junkies who aren't just looking for a place to sleep, but are essentially colonizing entire neighborhoods. Take Jeff Bezos, for example. He didn't just stop at one mansion on Florida's exclusive Indian Creek Island, famously known as the Billionaire Bunker. Rumors say he's been snatching up multiple properties on the same tiny island, effectively building his own private kingdom within a gated community. When you've got that kind of liquidity, you don't just buy a home. You buy the neighbors' homes too, just to ensure your view stays perfect. It's as if they are playing a different version of Monopoly than we are. While most people are struggling to get a bank pre-approval letter, some are buying up the most expensive sand in the world, like it's a casual Sunday trip to the grocery store. But it's not just the old school tech moguls making moves. You've also got the new money influencer crowd completely flipping the script. Every major YouTuber or TikTok star seems to be packing their bags and leaving California. They're heading to places like Las Vegas or various spots in Texas to set up these massive hype houses or sprawling compounds. Why? Well, it's a calculated move to escape those heavy California taxes. They're trading their Hollywood hills for desert mansions where they can film content in a 20-car garage while saving millions in tax revenue. It's a total game changer for them, but for the locals in Vegas or Austin, it's a nightmare. Suddenly, a house that used to be affordable is being bid on by a 20-something with a ring light and a massive filming budget. Then we have the real hidden celebrities of the housing world. The corporate giants like BlackRock. These aren't just people, they are massive investment firms with deep pockets and even deeper algorithms. They've been quietly buying up entire neighborhoods of single-family homes. Imagine a young couple trying to buy their first starter home, only to realize they're bidding against a multi-billion-dollar firm. These companies aren't looking to move in. They're turning potential family homes into forever rentals. They're essentially betting on the fact that you'll never be able to afford a mortgage, so you'll have no choice but to pay them rent for the rest of your life. It's a cold, calculated business model that's turning the American dream into a corporate subscription service that never ends. Now, compare those giants to our average Joe. Think about the teachers, the nurses, and the tech workers who are doing absolutely everything right. They went to college, they got the degree, they work 50 hours a week, and yet they're still living with 3 roommates. You're working a vital job, but you're stuck in a rent trap while watching a luxury real estate tour on your phone during your lunch break. There's a massive psychological gap growing here. When you see a celebrity laughing about their 3rd swimming pool while you're wondering if your landlord is going to hike your rent another 20%, it stops feeling like aspirational content and starts feeling like an insult. It is a reality that is becoming harder to swallow every single day. This migration of the wealthy from high-tax hubs like LA and NYC to normal states is creating a massive ripple effect. People who have lived in these cities for generations are being priced out by newcomers who think $1 million bungalow is a steal. The locals are being pushed further to the outskirts, losing their communities. The divide is becoming impossible to ignore. It's not just about having the money, it's about the rumors of how they're getting it and the secret tax loopholes they're using to buy mansions for free while your rent goes up 20%. The financial wizardry behind these purchases is enough to make any average Joe's head spin with frustration. Have you heard of the 1031 exchange? In the world of the ultra-wealthy, it's basically a legal cheat code. This loophole allows mega investors to sell property and defer capital gains tax as long as they reinvest that profit into a new property. It's a cycle that lets the rich keep billions moving without ever contributing a dime to the public funds we all rely on. Rumors are also swirling that celebrities and influencers categorize their sprawling mansions as production studios. While you struggle to justify a basic desk in your bedroom as a home office, they're potentially writing off a 10-car garage or an infinity pool as a necessary business expense. It feels less like a tax code and more like a secret club where the rules just don't apply to the people on the guest list. This absurdity becomes clearer when you dive into Zillow horror stories. Look at listings in cities like Austin, Miami, or Phoenix. You will see what is essentially a glorified garden shed listed for an eye-watering $500,000 because it's charming and centrally located. Meanwhile, just down the road, there are 20-bedroom mansions that sit dark for 11 months a year. These aren't homes. They're just empty shells serving as a safe place for a billionaire to park cash where the government can't touch it. It's a bizarre sight. Families squeezed into overpriced studios while air-conditioned palaces stand silent and empty. How can we have a housing shortage and a mansion boom at the same time? It feels more like a parking lot for money than a place where memories are made. This disconnect is why the eat the rich sentiment is spreading across TikTok and X. People are officially done with humble brags and house tours that cost more than a country's GDP. When a celebrity shows off a climate-controlled sneaker vault, the responses aren't goals anymore. Instead, they're spicy callouts like, "This could house an entire neighborhood," or "The audacity to post this while people are being evicted." There's a growing sense of collective anger shifting the cultural needle. The aspirational lifestyle is now a symbol of a system that's fundamentally broken. Whispers of ghost mansions fueled by dark money are everywhere. Foreign investors and shadowy corporations buy up American soil just to use it as a piggy bank, even if the neighborhood stays empty and the local economy suffers. So, where does this all end? Is the housing bubble finally going to burst? Or are we looking at a permanent new normal where owning a home is a luxury for the elite? Speculation is at an all-time high. Some gurus predict a crash, while others fear the corporate grip of firms like BlackRock is too strong for prices to ever truly drop. But don't count Gen Z out. A housing revolution is brewing online, with activists calling for organized rent strikes and aggressive new legislation to cap property ownership. Imagine if there was a law that said a corporation couldn't own a single-family home. Would that save the middle class? Or would it destroy the very idea of the American dream? It's a polarizing question dividing the country. At the end of the day, we must ask ourselves, is this really the world we want? Is it time to finally put a limit on how many houses one person can own? Or is this just the result of a free market where the winners take all? Is the American dream still alive, or has it been sold to the highest bidder? Tell us what you think. Are we headed for a crash, a revolution, or just more of the same? This conversation is far from over. You won't want to miss our next deep dive into a specific A-list celebrity who just bought a $30 million estate while their staff is reportedly struggling to pay rent. It's a story that will make your blood boil. Subscribe now.